First opened in 2002, there's a look inside Ford Field here in downtown Detroit, the Motor City. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Green Bay Packers and the Detroit Lions. Here we go. The final week of the NFL season, Week 17, is underway. That's fielded in the end zone. Oh, spinning away. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line.
Wait, that's wide, 80! 42! You must be getting tired of seeing me. Hey, hey!
On first down, Brady. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. 17 yards on the catch and run. It's a first down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. DeMarcus Lawrence in there to get him, and that is now sack number 18 on the season for it. So an early wake-up call there leads to a quick second and long.
Hey, come on, no, come on, no. Hey, ball 66.
Brady now to throw. And his throw here's incomplete. He was looking for Julio Jones, his Pro Bowl receiver, and it's third down. Good play there to step in and knock that one away by Chris Harris.
Who said that he couldn't play in the NFL?
Not me.
Not you. A lot of scouts did, a lot of people undrafted, and has turned himself into a Pro Bowl cornerback, one that really knows how to play the position.
Packer pressure, and down he goes. Brandon Graham, what a season he continues to have, his 15th sack of the campaign. Here comes the Lions punter now. As the first drive of the game stalls out, he's on to punt. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. We'll call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And it'll be Packer football here. First down and 10. They've got good starting field position as they come up here first and 10. Got a man right side. It's Sharp. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
Now the Notre Dame man, this is Theo Riddick. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. 12 yards there and a first down.
How best to describe that one? I'd say right down Broadway on that run.
A straight-ahead running. I think that might be something we see a lot of between the tackles today.
Well, he's enjoying things so far here this afternoon. Sees a crease and bursts through it for a solid game.
Here's Riddick. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. You often say that sort of opens the playbook now, 2nd and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
On play action, it's Rodgers. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. Robert Woods. Touchdown number 15 of the year. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. And his kick is no good. An inauspicious start here kicking-wise as this one stays a 6-0 game. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. That'll be taken in the end zone. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. As the season winds down and you look at them in totality, you know, the offense has struggled. The defense has been pretty good, so I would imagine the changes this offseason may be more on the offensive side of the ball.
And this is where we always hear the term complementary football, because as you noted, the defense has played well enough for them to win games, and the offense has held them back. So they've got to reward that defense by improving on offense. I don't know if you make a change at quarterback, running back, tight end. It doesn't matter. Get better players, better system, so they can play to the standards of the defense, and the win column will result.
Throwing on second down. Brady, and now a fumble. Brady loses the football, and the Packers pick it up. And they'll have great field position here as the ball will be at the 15-yard line.
Well, partner, they went empty set there. No backs in the backfield. All receivers out in the pattern. And in this situation, you know what the quarterback has to do? Act as his own blitz control.
Yeah, he's got nobody else there to protect
him.
No
one else there to protect, which means he's got to get rid of the football and absorb the hit, but not go down and fumble the ball.
Check tight, check tight, check tight.
Now after the fumble recovery, it's Rodgers. And now he'll tuck it and run. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's second down. To throw again on second down. Rodgers, his pass caught at the 4. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Tony Jefferson. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week, 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away. And that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well. Well, he got what he could there, just trying to move forward and gain a little bit of yardage and create some space. You know the pressure is going to be tough defensively.
You better be afraid of me. Hey, Bolt 66.
Back near his goal line. Here's Brady. And it's hauled in by Austin Hooper. And they'll get him down up past the 15-yard line. 15 yards on the play. First down.
That's good.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
Thanks to that last play, a little more room to operate. 1st and 10 at the 18. Now Foreman. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping Those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Alabama, 380. Check. Watch 54. I'm here all day.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Brady to the right side, and he's got Landry complete. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. It's a gain of 35.
It's not a surprise when you read scouting reports and watch tape because you know he's a heck of a player. But he is so difficult to get down in the open field. They just want to get him the ball and let him do his thing.
So the big play moves him all the way across midfield. It's 1st and 10 from the 45. Now a play fake. Brady. Dancing to his left. Now he's going to throw deep back over the... Got a man. It's caught inside the 10. Touchdown, Detroit. Latavius Murray with touchdown number 8 on the year. As his guys can now take the lead with the extra point. Getting your back involved, what's the importance there in the passing game?
Well, oftentimes you can create mismatches because who's going to cover him, and you get him into space, which is where he likes to operate with the ball in his hands. Oftentimes makes people miss, gets that run after the catch, and off he goes.
And into the end zone. And they got the extra point, and they take the lead here at 7-6. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. That'll be taken in the end zone. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And the magnitude of this game, everybody knows it. The fans, obviously the players and coaches, there's just with them a palpable buzz right now. They know they control their own destiny.
Win and you're in. And I think every player wants that. I think every coach wants that. I haven't been an organization yet that wants to be in a game where they have to rely on other teams to get them to their goals. In this situation, it's very cut and dry. Win and you're in the playoffs. That's their mission, that's their challenge, and you know they've chosen to accept it.
And what they told us is this has been the most focused week of practice we've had all year. You wouldn't expect any different.
Yeah, and you know, at the beginning of the season, you have multiple goals. They just have one now, win the game.
Well, they had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. On 2nd down, Connor looking for space. And this one also slow in developing as he's maybe getting back here to the line of scrimmage, but not much more than that.
Absolutely love the effort there. The ability to flow from his inside spot and stop that one at the line of scrimmage. Nice linebacker play.
Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes. Jarrell Casey in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. On 4th down, Matt Hawk is on to punt. Back deep, Jarvis Landry. And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. Landry now on the return. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And the Lions will take over. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. Things progressing to plan so far. Their defense has been solid, and they've got themselves a 7-0 lead after the touchdown the last time they had the ball. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off here by Jimmy Smith. And they will score. It's a Packer touchdown.
That was an interception, but on the field, the guys who are picking it off, they're not saying that. What word are they using? It's Oski, and that means catch the ball and go the other way.
That's your vernacular. I've never heard anybody say Oski.
Ask around. They'll tell you.
Now Dawson for the extra point. And he atones for his miss the first time around as this one is up and good to extend their lead. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive.
Stop your running.
The drive starts with Devontae Booker. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. They fake the handoff. Now Brady sliding out of the pocket. Looking down and got his man complete. And they do finally get him, but he takes it to the 25. A big play there for Detroit. 46 yards. So into Packer territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 25-yard line.
Watch the 72. Check.
A toss to Murray. And an alley to run. And he'll get it down inside the 20 to the 18-yard line. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, gotta like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get it.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Deontay Thompson, the rookie from Bama. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. On 2nd down, Barber. Oh, Barber loses it, and this is scooped up by the Lions. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. The offense was in a tough spot, and opportunistic defense takes advantage, get the turnover, they get the touchdown too.
I know this is going to sound strange, but oftentimes defenses call for this type of a play in this situation. Offense is pinned back near their own goal line. They tell them, be aggressive, go for the football, create a score. That's exactly what they did.
That's fielded in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And that last possession, really a gut punch. You seemingly had it working. You were in the midst of a very strong drive, then suddenly the fumble, and you're watching the back of a defender's jersey as he brings. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Michael Johnson marches in to sack him.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
After the sack on first down, Rodgers, throw left side, complete to Sharp. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for third down. To throw on third down, Rodgers eluding the pressure right and unable to connect, incomplete. Now give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up fourth down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And 2 interceptions thrown here in this first half. You hear it, no matter the sport, they say the great athletes, they can kind of have a short-term memory, but that's easier said than done.
It is easier said than done, but I played with a guy who threw 2 interceptions in the first quarter of a really big game we were playing.
Johnny Unitas?
And no, not quite of that level and not of that age. But I was
going for the age.
I remember looking over at him, and he was smiling. And I thought, what is he smiling about? It's because he had enough confidence in himself that that was a fluke. And he went out and played pretty well the rest of the day.
From midfield, here's Brady. Flushed out right. He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards. 1:58 left to play till we hit halftime. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Incomplete. Brings up third down and 8 yards to go.
So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Working from the gun, it's Brady. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on third down. Trying to disrupt Julio Jones there, the intended target. A little too close, got the flag thrown.
I'm not sure anyone can cover Julio Jones one-on-one for very long without getting their share of pass interference calls. His size, his speed, his physicality makes it almost impossible to do.
And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And it'll be 2nd and 12.
2nd and 12. At the 34-yard line.
Throwing now is Brady. Going with a screen for Murray. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to third down.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen, where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together.
Now the Packers give him nowhere to go, and they bring him down. DeMarcus Lawrence, it's his 20th sack of the season as he continues what could be a record-setting campaign. Dan Bailey now for the field goal try. On the left hash, this from 48 yards. And this one is right down Broadway. And that'll move their lead up to 4 now. So as it turns out, that sack doesn't wind up costing them, Charles. They at least get points, get 3 of them.
Yeah, that's where your kicker can really come to your rescue because you know After the sack, there was a little consternation there. Are we out of field goal range? Are we going to be able to get 3? In this case, he stepped right up and gave them exactly what they needed.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. And this is certainly not what you want to see in the final week of the year. We'll be back. On first down, Rodgers escaping the pressure right. Now he's going to throw deep. That's caught inside the 20. And he is able to take this way down into Detroit territory. A big play there just before halftime. 64 yards. A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. Working from the gun, Rodgers. Touchdown, Packers. Julian Edelman with touchdown number 7 on the year. And once again, the Packers, they're back out in front.
And while that touchdown does not give them an insurmountable lead, it's still a lead, and that always feels good to a team.
They'd love to take that into the lockers, but a little time left on that clock, so some work to do.
I like that. I like how you're guarding against a letdown there.
Looking forward.
Coaching them up from right up here in the booth.
Dawson able to connect on the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. You've got less than 30 seconds left here in the half. You're well on your own side of the field. What are we doing here, Coach Davis?
Well, I'm trying something on first down, and it's something that's safe. It's something that's been done many times before. A lot of people say it's not even worth trying, but I'm running a draw. I'm running a screen. I'm seeing if something pops. And if it does, that can alter my strategy and potentially get me some points. And if it doesn't work, well, then you just run the clock out and go to the locker room.
Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. So we have come upon halftime here in Week 17. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They have the lead now. They'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them.
And he's into the clear. The 30. Past the 20. Touchdown, Packers. James Conner, 77 yards. And the Packers are able to stretch that lead out further. And those are the highlight reel runs you dream of right there.
When he gets a seam and just gets through it, how about the explosiveness, the burst to get there to begin with, and then once he's in full gallop, good luck trying to track him down.
And those plays so demoralizing for the defense.
Absolutely, because you've done so much work trying to keep people in front of you. When they're past you and behind you, that's a tough one to swallow.
And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line.
At their own 24-yard line.
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And their halftime hold now even deeper. And they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. A give, running right, it's Booker. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll make it 3rd down.
Hey, Haywood!
Shotgun now for Brady. Throw left side complete. It's Murray. And he will have a 1st down as they get him to the ground at the 37. With 5 yards on the play there, as the drive will continue. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Here's Brady to throw. He's got a man on the crossing route. That's Moore. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. The Lions passing game in sync now. They've got another 1st down. So into Packer territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 46. And he's going to go down. They sack him back at the 42. DeMarcus Lawrence in there for the sack, and that is now 21 for him on the year. Wow, what a season. Another try after the 1st down sack. Brady under pressure again, and down he goes again. Brandon Graham, he continues to wreak havoc in the offensive backfield. Sack number 16 on the year. Needs something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down. Went backwards, and he's going to go down again. Jaron Reed. That's now back-to-back sacks, and it brings up 4th down.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
He's tight right here. He's tight on the right. Tight on the right.
Here we go on 4th down now with Brady. Looking deep downfield. And this is going to be incomplete. Boy, a real head-scratcher there. And the Packers are going to get the football back in excellent field position. So the false start will back them up 5. So that'll back them up 5. The false start backs them up 5. 1st and 15. To throw is Rodgers. To the left side and complete for Julian Edelman. If they didn't have that penalty a moment ago, it'd be a 1st down. Still a nice 13-yard pickup. On the ground, it's Reddick. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
To the goal line, but it's incomplete. Edelman, the intended receiver that time, but it'll be 2nd and goal.
When you got your backs in the shadow of your goal line, you've got to be physical in that situation because there's not a whole lot of space, not a lot of wild plays that can be run there.
It's put up or shut up time. Defensively, nice job just to make sure they didn't complete it on that play. 2nd down and goal. Rodgers. Right side complete. That's Woods. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. Robert Woods. Touchdown number 15 on the year. And the Packers are able to stretch that lead out further. And what they're challenging here is the spot of the ball, and this is probably the hardest challenge to win.
So difficult because the speed of the game, the angles of the cameras, your angle from the sideline watching the play can often fool you into thinking that the ball should be placed in a different spot.
They were stopped last time from the 1. Now here's another try on 3rd and goal. They'll try to run this one in. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. Only a yard there, so it brings up 4th and goal. All right, ball at the 1-yard line, 4th down. What do you say?
I say go, because if you can't get 1 yard, what's the old adage? If I can't get 1 yard, I don't deserve to win anyway. Tell your team it's that time. Who's going to get down into the trenches, grind it out, and make sure that ball gets in the end zone? Who's it going to be? Let's go do it.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here, because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3, and that's exactly what happened there.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
On the carry, it's Booker. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this 3rd quarter. Back now at Ford Field. It's the Lions trailing, but with possession of the football as we get set to bring you the 4th quarter. The Packers bringing in an extra member of the secondary here to try for the 3rd down stop.
61, matchbox lights. Hey, both 66.
Brady. Packer pressure, and down he goes. DeMarcus Lawrence in there for sack number 22 on the year. And, folks, that's just a half sack shy now of Michael Strahan's record of 22.5 set in 2001.
Exit. Regular.
Brady going to go on 4th down. Well, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Willie Henry muscled his way in for the sack. So they really needed points here in a 2-score game. Could not come away with anything there on 4th.
And while we know they're a little bit discouraged here, they can't check out of this game. You and I have called a good number of games over the course of our career where we've seen these types of situations. Teams get the ball back, and that miracle does occur. So they can't let that dream go just yet. They have to get stout on defense here.
Yeah, right now really hoping for a turnover. On 1st and 10 is counter. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 11 at the 15-yard line.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Again, it's counter. And effective running here. He'll take it down inside the 10. 7 yards on the carry. Make it 3rd and 4 coming up.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. And that will be incomplete.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation. And there, the defense won the battle. And Dawson's kick is good. And that will extend their lead even further. So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt. Obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but they still ate up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And last time, went for it on 4th, didn't get it. Let's see if they can pick themselves up off the mat and do better this go-around.
Sometimes I have this vision of coaches writing notes to themselves before a game, and sometimes that note says, be aggressive, stay aggressive. Maybe that's what we saw in the last possession.
Yeah, they were very aggressive. This time, will it result in points? We'll find out. 2nd and 6, just inside the 30. They'll try to right side with Booker. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. 7 yards there and a first down.
Well, that was a unit that understood exactly where the first down marker was, handed it to their guy who could run it, created some space, and he got there.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. They'll run with Booker. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down.
Hey, set. Round 80. Round 80. 54. Block 54.
A 2nd down carry for Booker. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. It's the linebacker, Brandon Marshall, there on the tackle.
It's a gain of 3. Brings up 3rd and 9.
Hey, set. Wide 80. 54. Watch the run. Watch the run. Hey, 2nd.
On 3rd down, Booker. And they stop him up short of the first down as they get him at about the 43. It's a 6-yard gain, and it leaves them looking at a 4th down. Well, look at the clock. You're down 2 scores. Have to go for this, don't you?
And they thought that as soon as they took over possession. It didn't matter where they were on the field. They were always going to be in 4-down territory. Backed up, in good situation, it didn't matter. So they've been preparing for that on their play sheet the entire time.
Caught on the right side by Jones. And he will have the first down, but he winds up taking a pretty good shot that time. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on 4th down. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And Brady's throw there, incomplete.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
Brady's incompletion on 1st down leads to a 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Brady looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Murray. And that'll be good for 8 yards to the 45. That was the 8th play of the drive, so a somewhat fitting pickup of 8 yards. Now Brady, and that is incomplete.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. Brady going to throw. And this is incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the Packers D comes up with a big stop. So good field position for the Packers as they come up 1st and 10. They begin on the ground here with Connor. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up second down. Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. They stay on the ground. Here's Connor again. And for a second straight play, the Lion defense drops him behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. Rodgers now to throw. Blitz coming, and down he goes. So it's all over. A Green Bay victory. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the second quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the second half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.
So for Green Bay, a final win means they will finish off the regular season at a very strong 12-4. And now they'll await the final seeding for the playoffs ahead. Meanwhile, for the Lions, they go out with a bit of a whimper as they wrap up a very trying 3-13 season. And this front office will have plenty of work to do in the draft and through free agency to turn this ship around. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.